Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here, and I want to talk about why we sell Nemechek Gold olive oil in a bag instead of a bottle. To preserve your olive oil, you need three basic things. You want to avoid extreme temperatures, so you don't want to store it outside if it's in Arizona, and that's not really the big issue. The other is you don't want to expose your olive oil to sunlight, and so that's why like the bottles are dark green to block certain rays of light that'll protect the oil, and same thing, our bag is impenetrable to oil, to the sunlight. But the most important thing to help preserve your oil and the quality of the oil is exposure to oxygen, and this is called oxidation. Okay, that's a term where molecules will break down due to a reaction with oxygen. Now, when we produce our olive oil, the last thing that happens is a little bit of nitrogen is squirted in the top, and nitrogen is heavier than oxygen, so it sinks below and in essence pushes the oxygen out of the bag. So when you buy our bag, there's no oxygen in here. If there's any air pocket, there's no oxygen. And so you can't have oxidation if there's no oxygen in there. All right? And they might do the same thing with the olive oil, where at the end they squirt a little bit of nitrogen in there to get rid of the oxygen. But the big problem is once you open it. Once you open this jar and you start pouring stuff out, and it's totally exposed now, and when you bring it back, air has to flow back in. Oxygen has to flow back in every time. Oxygen flows in. Oxygen flows in. That oxygen is destroying the olive oil. All right? And, if you're using a teaspoon a day, this is going to last a long time. And maybe by the end, it might not be that good. Our bag, and some people, it's kind of a nuisance, but when you decant it off the bottom, our bag just collapses. No air flows back in there. It does not collect air. And as you've seen, as your bag gets emptier and emptier, it's flat. It's because no air is flowing in there. Okay? That means no air, no oxidation. Now, some people say, it's just so hard to measure whatever, in that amount. Well, this will last, so at a teaspoon, this bag will last you a teaspoon a day, 5 months. Okay, that would be 5 months where you don't get oxygen in here. Now, what you can do, this one might be a little bit on a large size, is they're little olive oil decanters. They're just a little squirt bottle, and what you can do, just put a little of this in there, and maybe once a week you have to put some in there to do your dosing, but the bulk of your oil won't be getting the oxygen. Only a tiny bit here, and that won't destroy the oil in just a week or so. All right? It's months and months of oxygen in here that will harm the oil. So the bag, although I know it can be cumbersome if you're trying to dose it off of this, get a little extra bottle and avoid damaging your olive oil using something like this. All right, that's all for today. Everybody, have a great weekend. Bye.